be recording.
Yeah.
So, woohoo! So, with no further ado, I will give you over to Mr. Kevin Nathaniel.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out to AfroRoots tonight, even though you may have only had to step over to your living room or wherever that might be. But thank you for being here. It's such a pleasure to return to you with this series. And it's such a pleasure to be able to bring this to you online in the midst of what's going on right now with things being shut down in New York City still. But it looks like things are gradually opening back up. So maybe we'll soon be able to come back to you with the live flavor. But for now, we're actually making the best use we can out of this Zuma land here. And it's working out in a beautiful way in the sense that we've been able to get friends and community all over the world now to join us. So we've had audience in other countries that wouldn't necessarily be able to walk around the corner or get on a subway train. Um, AfroRoots Tuesdays is a music series that comes to you every other week right here at Goddard Riverside. And we feature great artistry, great music from all around the world. And we pride ourselves on featuring really great artistry. And we've been doing this for almost 8 years now. We started, I think, down in the beginning of 2013, down at the Bleecker Street at the Yippie Cafe. And we were there for several months before the Yippie Cafe got bought out by developers, and we were booted out on the street. And we were able to connect with God at Riverside, and God at Riverside loved the idea of this music night that had music, great music from all around the world, and allowed people a sense of community, a sense of real connection, a sense of being part of the event, and really being able to talk to the artists and being able to participate in a deeper level. So AfroRoots is about all those things. And even in the Zoom world, we try to bring all those elements into the flow here. I'd like to thank the people who are really key and very important to bring this to you. And first of all, I want to thank Susan Macaluso. She's the director of God at Riverside. And she is the one who literally saved AfroRoots back when we lost our space at Bleecker Street many years ago. And since that time, Susan Macaluso has been so supportive. She's the director of Goddard, and she has been our strongest ally. So yes, I have to thank Susan Macaluso. And I want to thank also our host today, who's with Goddard Riverside, Amanda Hopper. And you saw Amanda Hopper just a few minutes ago. You'll see her again at different times too. But I really thank Amanda Hopper because she is with Goddard Riverside, and she has helped keep this thing going, help us keep it flowing for you. I also want to thank our sound engineer, tech extraordinaire, sound man, musician, band leader, Greg Cage. Greg Cage is not here with us in Zoom land right now, but he is always here with us, and he's always providing support. And it's at some point you will see him. He'll be back in the flow with us. As I said, visually, physically. Right now, he's supporting us in other ways, and of course, we expect to fully be live and direct in New York City again within a few weeks. Of course, you don't know when they're going to allow live art and music to start happening again, but hopefully soon. I see some glimmers of hope. I see businesses opening up in various places. I see restaurants opening up. So hey, if they're opening up restaurants, why not, open up theaters and performance spaces? So we are certainly looking forward to that. But in the meantime, here we are. And we especially want to thank you for coming out and supporting AfroRoots Tuesdays, because we do this for you and with you and by you. Without you, this is not a thing. It's not happening. And yes, this is, in a way, your creation, because something about your New York City life, your New York City mind has allowed for these things to happen and to flourish. And we all came to New York knowing that New York was the place where artistry was really happening at an extreme high level, is the cutting edge, as they say. And we've seen what's happening. We've seen that high rents has been forcing artistry out of New York, and it's been endangering the kind of New York City that we all came to. And so, yeah, here we are holding fast to that, holding fast to a dream, putting water on that dream and letting it grow. And without you being part of that, without you being the people putting water on that dream, then yeah, this dream that's the only way for it to flourish. So most of all, thank you. And please continue to support AfroRoots. There's so many ways that you can support it. But one of the best ways to support it is exactly what you're doing, showing up and telling people about it. When you show up to these events, and whether it's online or whether it's physical, that is the number one way to support it. The other way to support it would be tell people about it. So if you post about it on the internet, if you post about it in any way, or tell people about it by email, invite other people to it, yeah, that's a really great thing. Other ways to support are to support AfroRoots Tuesdays directly. You can send $1. I have a system by which people can send $1 a month to support AfroRoots Tuesdays. They just log onto my website, and there's a scroll down, and you find where you can donate $1 a month to AfroRoots Tuesdays. That helps a lot because we have a lot of expenses, and we don't have a grant. We're all doing this volunteer. And that's why we do it at such a high level, because we're doing it from love, right? So yeah, log on and give us $1 a month. That's really great. Also, I highly recommend too. Many of you, and in fact all of you, I imagine, paid online to some donation. And as you know, we like to see that the artists get supported. So we are going to give you the prompts by which you can directly support LARAAJI. You can directly send something to his PayPal, and like a special thank you note or whatever. You can send that directly to LARAAJI, because if anything, that's really what we want to see. We want to see the artists get the support. We want to see the artists get the benefit of all this. And the artists have given their art and their time and their energy to make this happen. So yes, please support the artists, support LARAAJI, support any of the artists that come and support AfroRoots if you can. And the amazing thing about AfroRoots is the audience is usually 90% artists anyway, so it makes sense. Artists really are attracted to great art. So before we start, I'm going to tell you that I'm super excited to be able to bring LARAAJI here. LARAAJI has been, in a way, a kind of an institution, global, for people who are looking for music and some way of going deeper into the ideas that music can be about. And I came to New York in '85, and first thing I did is I started playing mbira on the streets, and I went to the West 3rd Street, and there was a woman who owned a shop called the Merchants of Oyo, and she asked me to play mbira in her shop. And when the first day I walked into her shop, she asked me, "Do you know LARAAJI?" And I said, "LARAAJI, I've heard of him." And she started showing me his cassettes and said, "You're going to meet him, and you're going to find him a very interesting and a very important person to know." She told me that back in '85, and I hadn't met LARAAJI yet, but I did meet him, and she was right. LARAAJI, in many ways, has been somewhat of a musical mentor to me, and because I can see so many things that I can learn, just from his practice. And that's what I mean, his practice, because it's a practice. When you're deep into music, it's something that happens whether you're in front of people or not. It's your practice just like yoga. It's your practice. So anyway, it's a really great, 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 great pleasure to be able to bring Larraji here for AfroRoots Tuesdays. I'm going to open with a song that I call the Mbira Call to Peace. I always open with the Mbira Call to Peace, but before I do that, I'm going to ask Amanda, you out there? Can we unmute everybody?
Yes, if everyone can unmute, and I'll go through and I'll unmute everybody too.
Unmute. Can we hear you just go, everybody? Everybody. Yeah. Can we hear everybody breathe? Just breathe. Let it all go. Yeah, everybody has to breathe in and feel really good. Feel really good. And you know, this whole concept of breathe in is really crucial right now because, as you know, New York City has launched into, and actually all over the world has launched into a protest based on being able to breathe, right? Based on being able to breathe because we lost one of our precious human because of not being able to breathe. And this is what launched the whole entire world in the protest because the whole entire world said it's launched into a love rebellion. This is what it is. It's a love rebellion. Yes. It's a love rebellion like maybe we haven't seen, right? It's happening all over the world. It's happening in every country, in every country. And so it's an amazing thing to see happen. It's an amazing, beautiful thing. And I encourage all of us to stay with the love rebellion, stay with it and realize that, yes, we as a human society can do better. We can do way better. And we must demand it of not only ourselves to do way better, but of all of our institutions, every single one of our institutions, especially that institution, those institutions that receive total support by our tax dollars. They absolutely must be demanded to do better. And that is the police, the government, all of these institutions that run by our tax dollars. They must be exemplary. They must be exemplary. And if they're not, then the argument is true. The argument is very true. Let's do something better with the money then. Let's do something better with that money that goes to support them because we need that money back on the streets to support the people if we're not getting that support from our institutions. So yes, this is the time of our love rebellion. Stay in the love rebellion. And while we're at it, this song is called Rise Up. And Rise Up refers to rise up spiritually. But if you rise up spiritually, you're going to rise up physically, mentally, and all the other ways too. So I'm going to be playing this Mbira. And this is the Mbira Call to Peace. And I hear you out there. At some point, I'm going to ask you to join me. But let me just start with the Mbira Call to Peace by myself first, and then I'll call you in. Here we go. So if we want to give each other hope, our words are like a rope. We can pull everybody higher and everyone inspired. Well, that's basic science of mind, but it's not what you always find. So rise up and reach. Ooh, positive vibration. Rise up and reach. Hey, Positive vibration. Rise up and teach. Hey, positive vibration. Rise up, yeah. Rise up, woo. Rise up, yeah. Rise up, woo. Rise up, yeah. Rise up, yeah. Rise up, come on. Rise up, yeah. Rise up, yeah. Rise up, woo. Rise up, yeah. Rise up, come on. Rise up, yeah. Rise up, come on people, let's rise up. Rise up, come on people, let's rise up. Good. Rise up, come on people, let's rise up. Rise up, everybody rise up. Tell your brother rise up. Tell your sister rise up. Tell your family rise up. Cause every day we rise up. Every way we rise up. Do that thing and rise up. Come on people, rise up. Come on people, let's rise up. Rise up, everybody, let's rise up. Rise up, come on people, let's rise up. Rise up, everybody, let's rise up. Rise up, come on people. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Rise up. Can you join me? Rise up. Yay. Rise up. Let's hear you. Rise up. Yay. Rise up. I love it. Rise up. Yay. Rise up. 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 Rise up, yeah, rise up, rise up, here we go, rise up, come on people, 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 rise up, let's keep on going. Rise up, come on people, rise up. Rise up, come on people, rise up. Rise up, come on people, rise up. Rise up, come on people. Breathing.
Rise up.
Rise up. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and or say it like the MTA, everybody, everyone, so I can get everybody. Please, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce Larraji. Please give him a round of applause, and please mute. Please mute. Please mute. Please mute.
Hum 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 hum. Oh, shum 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 shum. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Oh yeah. Do you hear what I hear? Well, I hear it. It's the sound of the fifth dimension.
Yes! That was beautiful.
The subject at hand is lightening up, dropping the density, moving beyond congestion, and resuming our communion with our bliss agenda. So here to advise us on some of the points we need to take into consideration when contemplating such an awesome and beautiful assignment as an inner personal spiritual path. So if you have your own spiritual inner personal path, then you are really, you are you are viewing through a new lens. You are tasting with a new heart. You are walking in a new frequency of present time. You are the second coming of the Christ. You are the great holy moly. You are the one you have been waiting for. You, no one else but you. We are in the edge of existence, the new edge, the fifth dimension. Words are not of much help. Direct immersion is necessary, called baptism. Unless ye be baptized in the light of thine own perfect source. You must practice calm, relaxed meditation more often. Meditation is the way. Nothing takes the edge off like meditation. When you are in meditation, you are in communion with yourself. How about that? How about that? The fifth dimension is lighter in density, more etheric, ethereal. It requires that for us to navigate in this new edge dimension, we must transition into a new luminous tonal language. For we are now in the edge of a nonlinear realm. In the new age, we do not go toward anything that is linear. Old edge. In the new age, we go as going toward the light, go as the light. Take your as with you wherever you go. And when you have your as with you, you are in absolute presence. There's no future, no past. There's nothing behind you because you fill up the totalness. So when you're in your as, you have no behind. The new language must be taken seriously. Well, how do you learn the new language? You must be baptized in the river. Oh, yes. You're running a special on baptisms tonight? Wow. Well, maybe we can have a little baptism ceremony right here. Oh, there's a 20% discount tonight. Right, so how do we do to get ready? We're going to chant a few a language that opens up our ethereal faculty of perception. It's called our crystal field body. Our crystal field body. Our fifth dimensional body is in the form of an etheric crystal. That's our new shared body. This is next edge existence. Wow, that's far out. I mean, far in. or for something, no out, no in, only as. An as language, of light, and sound. Wow. So can we listen to a few more tones now? I just want to say hello to my mother. She's out there listening. Okay. All right. Well, before we can go into the ceremony, we must invite someone who's going to give us some ceremonial grace. Yeah, we're going to take a little sip of water and a little ceremonial grace, some fresh air, and then we will be able to communicate in resonance with the vibrational intention behind this whole baptismal experience. Okay. So we have to move on swiftly, for night falls shortly, and we're about to go into the ceremony, the great ceremony. We're going to climb the great mountain of Kaplapacha in order to visit the lake at the top of Mount Kaplapacha. The ritual involves us going through a nighttime journey through the jungle, through the forests. But we shall be accompanied by our own cosmic heart intuition through the night in the forest of Kaplapacha. We come to one of the guides who's come to show us how to navigate the tricky world of outer illusion and to bring us smartly to the base of the mountain in the morning. And you are Dr. Kaplap? Yep. So Dr. Kaplap, how did you get the name like Dr. Kaplap? You've been to the top of Mountain Kaplapacha how many times? 33 times to the mountaintop. Now, what is it like having been to Mount Kaplapacha? That's a very energetic shifting experience. You shift the molecular vibration of your molecules, right? You go higher into the sky, or rather you come as the sky. The way out is the way in. The way in is the way as. In the new edge existence, we are as, because everything is us and everything is us. Sounds translinear. Translinear. Sounds metaphysical. Sounds like very progressive mind science. It sounds like the great holy moly is speaking. In any case, it's spiritual. The spirit is a non-linear field. Pulsing. Right now, pulsing. Listen in your inner ear. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, it sounds like a very high frequency tone that you can almost ignore if you wanted to. The yogis don't ignore it. No. The yoginis don't ignore it. That is your cosmic friend. That inner sound is non-linear, uncaused. The perfect object of contemplation to lift consciousness from personal I am up into universal I am. Wow. So you say, listening to the inner sound, but when I close my ears, I just hear this kind of high is. That's where you start. Why should I listen to that? Because it is the ultimate absence of linear data. It's the way to empty your mind in one bulk dump. Yep. Listening to the inner sound is the way to clear your mind. Wow, as simple as that. A tone, we're in a new edge. The power of tone in the new edge. Thank you, Dr. Kaplop. By the meantime, you've been to the mountain top many times. What essentially goes on at the mountaintop? That's a secret. But I'll tell you. There's at the top of the mountain, Kaplapacha. After we climb to the top of the mountain in the morning, get to the top. There's a big blue crystalline lake. Wow. And it's so crystalline blue. Whoa. And then when we dive into the lake of Plopachop, we go down and we find 7 different entrances. Wow, different to different caverns. Wow, crystal caverns. Wow, Dr. Klopp. How do I sign up for a journey like this? The ticket office is in your imagination. Well, thank you, Dr. Klopp. We can use laughter in a new edged way. Our own laughter, whether it be forced, faked, fixed, frozen, or fiercely free and flying all over the place. What is your laughter about today? How do you laugh? Have you laughed? Will you ever laugh again? No, please don't put yourself through that. Come back to life and smile again. Come on, buddy, this is not the end. And the great truth of truths. Each of us has access to sustainable real estates in the sky. Your cosmic real estates. Yes, you can. You are there. You're here now. You're vibrating. You have found the key, the way to open your mind and your heart. This way, this gently, this successfully. You are here, pulsing in this lighter dimensional way as a vast expanse of comfortness. You are so comfortable now. You are so comfortable, so relaxed. You are so relaxed. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And here to facilitate a total cosmic body relaxation for transitioning in bliss as we move into the new edge of our collective existence, we want to make sure that we're in the most relaxed and receptive mental and psychological and physical posture. For if we're not, we're likely to get knocked off our ass. But since we're going to be focused inside as the light, as balance, as equilibrium, practicing this, wearing this vibration so that our mind and our heart and our body is walking balance, boom, boom, walking equilibrium. We are integrating through meditation, and then we are radiating a celebration. Yes, I agree. I could have sworn I heard you just talk English. That's how dreams unfold. So now some more chanting. But first, let's talk about the theory and practice of being light. Light language, light meditation is in resonance with our etheric crystalline body form. The new edge body is crystalline in matter. It's an etheric formlessness. It's by way of this body that we perform and accomplish more than our old age imagination could ever. We're in a new field, a new vernacular, a new language, new colors, new sounds, new capabilities for the creative expressionist in you. I think I got it. I think I got it. Yeah. Well, so what's the next? Practice. Practice is always next. With no practice, nada. I know practice is hard, but discipline, you got to make up your mind to do it. And every day you got to remember to not forget. You got to remember to not forget. And you got to forget to remember what it is and you're supposed to remember. We must come to a place of talking inwardly. We should learn to talk quietly, but with a transformed tone of voice, a more compassionate tone of voice, a more intimately nurturing kind of voice. For we are now in the phase of direct self-communion. You are to meet the second coming of Christ. The second coming of Christ is you. Christ is the etheric crystalline body. It is said that one individual did embody this frequency of consciousness and psychology and walked upon this plane, only to show that it can be done. The second coming is you. How about them apples? So we say that we are Let us collect ourselves. The end is near, but the beginning is now. Hurry home, hurry home, hurry home. The fastest way home, the fastest way to return home is to stop leaving. Stop going somewhere. Stop leaving. I told you. You are where you are going. You. Wake up and fly. Woo! I needed that. Now, getting back, let's get grounded. Grounded in the sky, flowing on the earth plane. Now, Dr. Kaplop, it seems to me that we have to shift into a sound break because we're all about tone, and outer tone can guide the focus of our hearing into the inner tone. But the inner tone is not the inner tone. The inner tone is absolute, abstract, all pervading. Relative language does not apply to it here. Well, how do we get to it? You never can get to it unless you go as it, as. There's that as principle again. Wherever you go, take your as with you. Ramana Maharshi, be as thou art. Did you just talk English? Strange things happen in dreams. You know how you know that this is a dream? Is this a dream? Right here. All of this. We're in a dream. We're in a dream. How can we tell? It's obvious. That's the indication that this is a dream. Oh, wow. Should we share it? It makes a bigger impact when you reveal it to yourself. Yeah. Well, thank you. This sounds like an inwardly mobile teaching. Thank you, Dr. No, your name is this. Who's Dr. Kaplap? What's your name? My name is Chunky Trance. This is Chunky Trance. How do you get a name like that? My life is about trance. Not an empty trance, not a boring trance, not a traditional okie dokie, but just making by trance. A trance, a trance with radiance, with cosmic gusto, a trance with goal, with orgasmic balancing equilibrium pouring throughout every inch of eternity. Whoa. So, what were we talking about? Your name, Trance. So trance is not an emptiness in that regard. Trance can open the treasure chest of our celestial inheritance. Trance allows us to walk on glistening new luminous worlds and theaters, where we are creators within a new dimension of expression. How do you like them apples? So chunky trance. So you are a trance that is very chunky, not an empty, solemn, a lost trance. No, that's not me. So you stay in a trance that is accessing a very deep wellspring of cosmic inheritance. What does that feel like? He says, well, you have to experience it in your etheric crystalline body. And there is no linear language for that expression. The closest way to successful communication of something that abstract is to induct you into your own inner immersion, where you become the vibrating intelligence of the cosmic source within your being right now. And such an experience will definitely quicken you. It will definitely open you so that you are seeing in a dimension to which you were previously blind. A new awareness spreads throughout your entire mental sphere. Your heart is cracking open in a romantic love as an infinite loving presence. Whoa. 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 Wow. Ah. Woo. Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't have said it better myself. Tone. A tone can be alive, living. So what makes a tone living? What is life? And what language will you use to tell me the truth? It was on the second day of the journey up the mountain Kaplapacha. A shaman guide joined the party. What does a shaman do? What is a shaman? What is a shaman? An altered dimensional field of awareness. One collects abstract information that can be released and transformed into inspiration in other dimensions of present time. So you mean that we can receive conscious assistance from other dimensions of reality? It's called interdimensional community. And we activate our access into it by initiating our own selves. Baptism by sound and light. This is the way into expanded awareness that we are in fact inhabiting an etheric crystalline body form right now, right here. We use the breath prana to excite our etheric memory. For breath carries the information of the eternal field, the uncaused oneness. Breathing consciously, mindfully, channeling, circulating prana. But since we are going into the fifth dimension, where we are in a higher dimensionality, we're not thinking about breathing in and out, because that's still linear, in and out. We should be breathing as the pranic field, breathing itself, breathing this way as prana is breathing this much prana at this time. That sounds like a real deep internal alignment. That's cosmic acting. Wow, are we capable of that? What do you think we're doing now? The sooner you start practicing by channeling etheric crystalline body imagery in your fantasies, in your imagination, you are creating the vehicle for your next edge existence. Isn't that the greatest? Well, something about this sounds like an occult or a mystical new interventional religion. Your sustainable real estates are calling on you. You are the proper owner of them. Your cosmic real estates are here, vibrating in non-linear terms. Why? But don't let that bother you, because you are capable of enjoying life as a non-linear consciousness. In short, we could sum this all up in one word. Spirit. Spirit. Spirit is non-linear, eternal. It's a medium of interdimensional navigation. Wow, that's pretty interesting. What does that got to do with the mountain Kaplapacha? As we're climbing the mountain Kaplapacha in the early mornings and sunlight begins bathing us, at that moment we are wearing no clothes. Our backpacks are transparent. Our sunglasses are allowing us to look directly into the sun and read a higher frequency of lights and colors we have never seen before. And about that time, as the light saturated our brains and our awareness, a most unordinary sound hearing event erupted all over consciousness. Oh. It was more the hearing, the way of hearing. The way of hearing? How was that? A fifth dimensional way of hearing. Activating fifth dimensional consciousness. Whoa. Awakening a fifth dimensional civilization. Well, some fifth dimensional civilizations are already awake. Wow, this is, I don't know where to put this information. Well, this is going up the mountain. So you get to the mountain and the top and you're looking out all over the land and you're ready to dive into this crystal blue lake. But first you must chant a mantra. But the mantra can only be revealed spontaneously through you when you are in your clearest, most aligned, receptive prostration. Wow. You're totally open. You become one with the mountain. You are one with the lake. You are one with the all that is. The all. Whoa. The almighty all. Whoa. How about them apples? Now, once you get to the mountain, into the lake, you're going to dive into the lake after you chant the sacred mantra. Well, why would we dive into the lake? Under the surface of the lake, there are entrances to 7 different crystalline frequency caverns. We are each guided intuitively to the cavern that we need to visit. And there we stay for 24 hours. And our electromagnetic field is fine-tuned for ultimate, successful, prosperous, healthy, loving, joyous, creative adventure in the new age of your life. Wow. Yeah. And then you come out of that and you come down the mountain. Before you leave the lake perimeter, you do another mantra. This mantra is for integration, fine-tuned integration of the entire experience. For you shall walk as a new footprint upon the earth plane. You shall flow as the tone of a new wind, caressing minds into higher vibrations. You shall thrive. You shall sing and you shall ring as a new edge Wow. Yeah. And all of that goes with practice. So where do we get a practice from? Next 45 minutes. Now is always the right time. Here is always the right place. We start by bringing forth an open breath, for it is only by an open breath that we allow our vertical prana to inhabit us. And we're going to we're going to channel the great breath opening mantra. It's for opening the entire circuitry of the electromagnetic field through our earth body, our little earth buddy. Earth buddy, earth buddy. Okay, okay. So where were we? We were, about going deep into integration. What are you going to do? A trance, you're going to integrate your whole experience on the top of the mountain. And so you are a new vibrational energy field. So you're coming down the mountain, you're coming back. You're not coming back, never go back. You go as. Your new vernacular is asness. In asness, you are beyond separation. You operate in unity mind. Unity mind. Your intuitive guidance is unity. Naturally. No thinking. No brainer. Natural flow. This is the new edge. You. So you come as and forward to your old community. Transform your vibrational field, and you've transformed the rest of the world. You've left nothing behind. It all comes into creating the substance of the new you. You have no behind when you are in your perfect as. No future, no past, no need for a language, for a language that needs to communicate past and future information. Zip, that information is zip. Rise, rise, rise into your inheritance. Rise, rise, rise. Claim your inheritance, blue sky. Thank you, Dr. Kaplop. So we'll tune into this rest of this story some other time, but that is an actual ceremony, an actual real. And how do you find out more about this? Consult your imagination. I thought he'd never get off and stop. Well, we got time. Good time for me? Yep. That's good to hear. I always have time for you. Oh, shucks. Whoa. You sure know how to make a cosmic mama mighty happy. Well, let's talk about the new edge. The new edge. I once heard a statement that kind of, I didn't know how to relate to it. I didn't think, it said there's religions for the masses, and religions for the few. And I said, what did you say? Religions for the masses, and religions for the few. So I grappled with that for years, and Well, some religions require a very focused and dedicated pursuit of understanding by a seeker or student. And then some of us are in the world and we are comfortable enough to just go with the flow. There are those who are on the fast track, hurry home because they've seen the foundation of the illusion, and they don't want to be there when they get there. Wherever you're going, be sure you want to be there when you get there. So the veil is being lifted so often in the last 50, 60, 70 years. So many ways of lifting the veil, ceremony. So many ways of bringing spontaneous new insight. So many technologies and so many institutions and conferences and so many teachers. It's no wonder you won't trip over your own enlightenment. It's so present everywhere. Everyone knows it and sees it. It's in your face. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's what they all say when they realize that we're all interdimensional beings and anything can happen at any time. But you were just talking another language. What are you talking about? I mean, that wasn't the same. Sure enough, it was. Yeah, it's the same way, the same I've always been. I will always be this, and that I don't have any reason to change. Neither do I. I would never think of changing because it's absolutely unnecessary. Just love who you are and stay there. Stay put. Don't go anywhere without me. Isn't that funny? I know, I'm supporting you. No. You hurt my feelings. No, I didn't mean to do that. What you meant to do and what did happen are two different things. Oh my goodness, darling. Don't darling me unless you put the word sweet baby in front. Okay, sweet baby darling. Sweet baby darling. So, you know, this is a very quick relationship because you got to zoom right back into the absolute field. Well, that's new age territory. Flash relationships. Because our body is vibrating at the frequency of the eternal orgasmic current. This diminishes our need to boing boing unnecessarily. That we constantly feel this orgasmic current surging through us, so we feel totally fulfilled, totally quickened, totally alive, totally present, totally healthy. Therefore, we postpone a lot of our earlier edge social behavior. Thou shalt not boing thyself before thy understand who thou art. Oh. Because if you boing the wrong self, you'll boing yourself further into a direction that you haven't carefully thought of as being the direction you want to be there when you get there. So, no boinging. What you mean? No mindless boinging. What should be? No crazy boinging. What should be better? No stupid boinging. Mindful, compassionate, sensitive, inwardly mobile. Inwardly mobile boinging. The inwardly mobile relationship. Well, all parties support the inward journey of everyone. Inward, then asward. We all share the same etheric crystalline body. It is waiting for us. Here, hurry home. Stop leaving. There's passionate activity, passive activity. You are actually making cosmic music by focusing on it. Focusing on the inner current, you become musicians of the eternal language. How about them apples? So that's quite a bit, quite far off. But the way out is the way in. And the way in is the way as. So as is the key in this the next edge existence. It's not out there. There is no out there. Look carefully. There's nothing out there. Wow. So everything is here. With the good, that which is beyond the sum of all things is here. Wow. That's, well, how do I do it in the next? Pay attention to your breath. Let your breath be your best friend. Pay attention to the thought flow in your mind space. Monitor it. Let the old thoughts go. They are the ribbons that hold you to old. Undo those ribbons, those thoughts, and open the gift of your now. Whoa. Open the gift of the here. Wow, yes. I can see you're in your luminous body. When you're in your light body, then you're really in touch with the celestial humor. The celestial humor is the substance. It's the body that connects us to all the worlds. So we learn how to work with the humor. Conscious breathing is a way of directly impacting the humor. Singing passionately, especially when our heart is in the intention of, let's say, a spiritual or inspirational song. Yeah, we are really activating the humor. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, yeah. Yo. You're talking about connecting with the current. Yeah, it's like orgasmic. Whoa, you from the inside out. And to be able to pull that through when you're in the point of creative expression, or problem solving, or vision keeping. Wow, that must be an interesting alchemical. You can simply call it spiritual. Simply call it spiritual. Simply call it spiritual. All right. I feel, what are you doing? I'm trying to remove my hand. Where's your hand? Well, I can use this hand. For what? I mean, that's freed up. Freed up to do what? No, I'm just going to conduct what we call mudras, hand mudras, that if you look at them carefully, you can use hand mudras to sustain a trance. And preferably you want to be in the trance that you want to be in first. Then you can use your own hands to sustain a trance. And this comes in very handy whenever you're in the midst of a chaotic situation, like, I don't know, 6 alligators surrounding you in a muddy pond. But if anything that would be a distraction, you want to ignore. Well, here's how you do it. You simply lift your hands out of the water and you focus on your hands. Forget about the alligators. Just focus. And if you do it good enough, you will notice something. All the alligators are doing it with you. And while they're doing it, you just simply walk to the shore and let the alligators stay in trance. But you're in lucid trance, aren't you? I think so. Yes. How was that for you? Well, I resisted all the time. I just faked along with it. Oh, I don't believe in things like that. The Holy Ghost is my thing. Oh, I got it. Yes. So the Holy Ghost. Yeah. What is the Holy Ghost? What ain't the Holy Ghost? The whole of life is magical. Look closely. This moment is magical. Look, gaze into the wonder of the now. Gaze into the wonder of who you are right now. Just gaze, my brothers, my sisters, my everythings. Just gaze and see who you are. See what you are. See what the universe is giving. See what the universe is saying about itself through you. Wow. I see you like your job. There are some drawbacks. Sometimes the spirit calls on me when I'm just pooped. But when that comes, I must go in order to keep the portal open. If we ignore the call from spirit too much, the door may become vague to our vision. We may not know how to recognize it until some other graceful intervention touches us and calls us forward. Well, that's quite a bit. So you've been to Kaplapacha. No, the other one has. Oh, so what do you know about higher consciousness? It will be a thing of the past. For we will be as that which is this much, this way at this time, being this much, this as this is being this much, this way. Is this clear? This language, this momentary language. This be here now language. Now, here, this way, at this time, this way unfolding as this vast, omnispatial I amness vibrating in infinite luminous beauty. Oh, whoa, Holy Ghost, start me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is the Holy Ghost and orgasm in the same page? The Holy Ghost is the sacred orgasm. It is the orgasmic communion. Whoa. Yeah. What happens there? Totally aligned with the eternal divine. Wow. Yes. So this is chunky trance. Your trance is very chunky. There's a lot going on. A lot going on there. That's a chunky trance, but you have to prepare your nervous system before you take on that kind of psychological lifestyle. You know all that. That's what the energy work is about. Preparing the nervous system, preparing your mind space, preparing your heart. Preparing the heart. Preparing the heart is very special. When you're transitioning, you want to be transitioning in bliss, not transitioning in heartbreak, not transitioning in loss, not transitioning in death, transitioning as bliss, as this light, this luminosity which becomes apparent the moment we open our third eye, our etheric crystalline body faculty, waiting right here, open, free, conducting the vast symphony of infinite consciousness in union with Source, where you are right now, this way. Well, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Mani Padme Om, Om Mani Padme Om. Om Kuan Yin, Om Kuan Yin, oh Kuan Yin, oh compassion, compassion. Oh, I feel the compassion. Whoa. Well, yes, Kuan Yin. Homitakuyasen. All my relationships, all my relations throughout all corners of the omniverse, throughout all dimensions of potential reality. To to all the little friends there at AfroRoots tonight. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. You know AfroRoots is tuning in? This is especially for people and folks and consciousness tuned into AfroRoots. You are being baptized. Your energy field is being permanently altered, shifted, elevated, radiated, so forth and so on. You will not leave this event. A new you is leaving this event. A you that vibrates dominantly as a new edge consciousness. A new age thinker, you channel their thoughts. That's what makes you a new age thinker. Your thoughts are being channeled spontaneously. No time to think. You are an open channel. Inspiration flows through you. You couldn't stop it if you wanted to. You are an open, receptive, devoted, submitted channel of the current of the whoa. Sometimes you have to take a break. Yeah, this is one of them times. Well, we'll see you later. But in the time being, we just want to pay homage. We want to thank all of you for all the acts, seen and unseen, known and unknown, heard and unheard, acts of peace, love, and beauty. We'd personally like to thank you and you too, and you. Well, thank you for all those seen and unseen, heard and unheard, known and unknown acts of peace, love, and beauty. Whoa. I want to thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my bottomless heart. I want to thank you for all the seen and unseen, the heard and unheard, the known and unknown acts of peace, love, and beauty. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, but I'm not going to, because it's totally unnecessary. It's already yours. I've given you nothing but an opportunity to remember what you know. Whoa. So back to the sustainable real estates. We're talking about what becomes apparent to all of us collectively, what shows up as our collective real estates as we migrate into our crystal etheric body civilization. And the question comes, when does it happen? Where does it happen? Why does it happen? How much do I have to do to get it to happen? What can I do to stop it from happening? Well, the next 45 minutes is crucial. Breathing is crucial. Focus of your attention is crucial. Your body focuses, your body language, and your unconscious self-talk. Whoa. How do we get there? Well, I'll tell you who knows how to get there. Yep. Am I on? Yep, okay. How to get there from here, or how to get here from there. How to stop leaving. You sit in an easy chair, do some deep breathing, relax your body. Then you start taking off all titles that have ever been used to describe little old you. Just take every title off. Take every title off. every name, every classification, just sit there breathing. And as you take every title off and just let it just float wherever it wants to go temporarily, you just peel your name off. I'm not my social security number. I'm not my European postcode. No. I'm not a musician. No. I'm not a late night shift operator on the crane in 32 Pier. No. Take off every title that ever used to relate. Even the romantic titles. You're not hoochie scoochie anymore. You're not booby booby. You're not somebody's little bubby dubby dubby. No, 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 no. You take off every little title. No more pudding pie. Nope. Take off gender. Take off non-gender too. Take off everything and just sit with what remains of the I am. The I am. And sit with it and get into a realization, hey, all my anxieties and stuff vanished with the names. That stuff doesn't belong to me. That is in my real estates. Right here. Now, pure I am. The deepest peace I've ever directly, knowingly experienced is coming all over me and causing me to feel the Holy Spirit and to, whoa, give praise for the way life works. Yeah, I hear you. I would think you would. So you are undoubtedly a bliss activist. Whereas, do you believe that we must go through times of depression in order to get to bliss? Yes, we can go through those times, but we don't have to identify ourselves in the language of those times. Very important not to get pulled into the trance of the languaging of that time. Avoid the trance by avoiding its language. So you have to look carefully at the times you're in and see the language that's being used, and are you absorbing the language? Is it becoming your language? Is it the way you're talking? Is it the way you are talking to your inner self, your inner speak? So I propose that each student, cella, athlete, design a daily bliss agenda. One should be in it for at least 2.5 hours every day. That's a decent returning of 10% to the great source. Return 10% of your day to source. So be in that crystalline, etheric crystalline body consciousness. And how do you do that? You learn how to channel etheric crystalline imagery. And that's how you build your crystalline etheric imagination, because this is your universe, and this is your carte blanche real estate. Your own personal crystalline etheric universe. Sound like it'd be frighteningly lonely. Wake up. Aloneness is the ultimate reality. Aloneness is no problem. It's a trance, eternal trance. And when you invest in it correctly, you can transform your old trance into a chunky trance. Full of radiance, full of compassion, full of ongoing alignment. Oh, that alignment. Oh. How do you align? Mental, it's a mental. Everything is mind, but I just thought you said it was ether. I thought you said it was prana. I thought you said it was spirit. I thought you said it was the Christ. But now it's the mind. Oh, I see. It's a dynamic, unfolding, changing, new face all the time. That's the nature of the next edge religion. So fluid, ethereal. Whoa, an etheric, crystalline. Wow. Tone, music, art. Well, thank you, Chunky Trance. We're going to, what? We're going to, I think we're going to say goodbye. Never say goodbye, man. In the fifth dimension, there's non-linear. The territory is non-linear. There's nowhere to go to get away from anyone else. It's all superimpositional civilization. If you say anything, just say goodbye, not goodbye for now, no. Hello forever. It's the only greeting that makes sense in the fifth density body. Hello forever. We're all one. And it's never just words when we're there in the garden. In the garden, the super bio-electromagnetism of our embryonic, our DNA, are quickening and firing and causing us to be nothing less than the direct experience of the great one. Ow! Yes, we're talking, this is quite an initiation. It's it never stops. No, shall and never. Remain devoted. Follow your vision. Listen to the sound. Let breath give you the key to your immortality. Thank you. All right. Hello forever. Should I be turning something on? Are we for question and answer? Was that wanted to explore?
Yes.
Or come as
Larraji, thank you
Hello.
so much. So I've been in a chunky trance listening.
Mhm.
And I want to ask you, is there a place where people can find your music and recordings? Anything else that they can find so they can follow your other media, should I say?
Allow me to, I'm pretty, that's just so that you have a sharp memory of the actual website. Ow, whoa. So now the website, oh yes. So it's LARAAJI, LARAAJI dot blogspot, one word, dot com. LARAAJI at blogspot, no, LARAAJI.blogspot.com. LARAAJI.blogspot.com. And there you can follow up as thou art guided in this luminous new edge of existence. See you now.
Thank you. And I do want to ask you a question. Is there a message that you're channeling, or are the puppets channeling, or is it all of you together?
It's this much of this at this time for this reason. And technical information for those who are studying to become more of what you are. It's spontaneous. Spontaneity is the doorway to the sacred realms of the unknown world, to that which has not been explored. Spontaneity, the art of allowing spontaneity to erupt. Whoa. And over time, one finds their own inner conduit. Myself, I like working with tape recorders. Of years of just spontaneously channeling streams of thought, streams of non-thought inspirations, and then discovering puppetry, my own form, and that puppetry should be an extension of mudra. In other words, sculpting, I called new edge territory, that we're actually transitioning in through to beyond third, fourth, and becoming inhabitants here, this way, as this crystalline body consciousness integrates. And so it is a whole field erupting inside of touching, acknowledging our shared evolution. It's an invisible transparency, vibrates in the midst, and it is speaking to itself, vibrating itself, reminding itself of what it is knowing.
Have your recent sharings and musical offerings, performances involved the sharings with the puppets over the last few years?
In the yoga meditation community, yes, where the people in present there are either there for extended stay or short stay, but they are investing time in inwardly mobile lifestyling. And they are familiar with being deeply relaxed, yogic, the perks of exploring yoga and meditation. Actually is a preparation for the level at which I feel I'm bringing forth this channeling experience. So it's not in a saloon in Dublin, Ireland. I don't know. I would probably alter a bit. No, I think it coming through here, AfroRoots, and I am sensing that at this particular time, you call it the lockdown or the isolation period, that it's okay for this vibration to be explored. I believe the way out, whatever's really way out, is really the way.
Yeah. Right.
And the way in is the way as. So I'm grateful for this opportunity to offer and to touch base with the Afro-Rootarian intention. Afro-Rootarian.
I love it. Well, I'll always remember a joke you gave a couple years ago in which you said, and yes, everybody has Afro roots except for, and you named a very imaginary name. Except for this one individual. Yeah, that was perfect. I remember that. I can always remember the name you said.
How long has AfroRoots been sailing on the mighty highways of life?
Well, this is 8 years now.
Octos.
8 years. And you, this is the 8th year. We're in the 8th year. We started in 2013. And you were one of our opening artists. You know, we opened and we only did about maybe 2 performances before you opened AfroRoots.
Really?
Yeah. So you're one of the artists that christened the series. Yeah. Back at the Yippie Cafe.
Yippie Cafe, yippie. Yeah.
So during this, as they say, shutdown or lockdown or whatever, are you primarily sharing through the internet yourself, or how are you connecting with your audiences, with your
Zoom, Instagram, sending out wave files of music to radio stations and doing interviews with radio stations or writers, and getting up to I live on the 5th floor, so I can go up to the roof. And another way I get in touch is just open up and scream. Yeah. You ever scream in New York? Just go somewhere, open and scream. Just scream.
It's
Some New Yorkers are brave. They don't wait till they're alone.
right, right.
I admire that.
Amazing. Well, Larraji, I can remember probably my earliest memory of you is walking through Washington Square Park when I used to visit New York when I was, I think it's my last year in college, walking through Washington Square Park and looking in the bushes and seeing somebody in the bushes playing a zither. And that memory has stayed with me. And that was you. I didn't know who that person was in the bushes in Washington Square Park, sitting cross-legged with a zither, but that was you.
Yes, were there circular benches around me in a cobblestone patio?
I can't remember those details. I just remember somebody in the bushes playing a zither.
Yeah, that's quite a stimulating image. But I was playing the zither at some point.
Right, right. In the bushes in Washington Square Park. Yeah, the amazing thing is you were just there doing it as if it was, as if you were maybe like part of the bush.
I might have been in the head of an installation, creative sound installation.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, but I remember that. It was many moons ago.
Yes.
Washington Square Park had so much going on in it, but one of the things that was going on in it was LARAAJI.
Yes, it was a magical time. It was a time to grow too. I'm always growing. And there, you get these little people's opinions come to you when you're very vulnerable after performing, and what they're saying to you, you take it in.
Right.
And one evening I'd finished playing what I thought felt like a very good offering of music. And off in the far corner, there was an assembly of East European musicians who played mandolin and things like that. They had their own little enclave. One night, this mandolin player came over to me. He was about 10 years my senior, and he's saying to me, I listened to you play, go blinky, 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 blinky. I don't hear any melody. So I immediately started to respond, oh, maybe I should put melody in here. Wow. And then it helped me to understand there is called a celestial melody, which is a vertical melody that unfolds in the midst of the sound. But little times, things like that help me to say, wow, how do I feel about that? Do I need to pursue melody? But I do like melody. But it's just a thought that there's one person I didn't please. And those were good years. They are good years, NYU. Yeah. And the feeling of doing what you really honestly want to be doing with your life force at that time in eternity, actually doing it and sitting in, letting it happen for an hour or two. It's so gratifying, so rich, so liberating. It's beyond liberation. It's there beyond liberation. And the music is being shared, and those who enjoy it express the joy of it. And I got bubble. Says, what more evidence do I need of heaven?
Yeah, yeah. True.
There's only one incident ever happened there. And I was doing this channeling of sound, and it becomes an atmospherical support. So you can tune into it, daydream in it. And at one evening, this young man in a very black oriented attire, leather, black chains, and he had a backpack and a guitar. He was there for a minute or two. I observed him at one time when I stopped playing the zither. Then I went to playing the zither. At the end of the evening, packing up, counting my change, I felt this most interesting creative force slam my body. And it was somebody's backpack. And I looked around and it was this young man who was standing there looking innocent with his guitar. He had just slammed me with his backpack. And I don't know how I could explain it. An edge of compassion came up. And I just stared at him, and he collected his backpack and quietly went his way. It's a mystical experience. At times it has to do with sound therapy and how sound impacts someone. Especially, He
Wow.
might have been saying, "Man, that's the grooviest music I've ever heard." I have to believe that that's what it was about.
Well, and that takes me to perhaps my final question is, have your puppets ever surprised you in that way?
Yes, continuously. It's spontaneous, the same as an artist in spontaneous recording and performing. I enter valleys, streams, worlds, constellations I never knew how to imagine could exist. And through these puppets, I didn't even call them puppets. Somebody said they're my friends.
Yeah.
Someone called them my little beasties.
Yeah.
Be the best beast you can be, but they're little friends. And they aren't separate, and they aren't they. And I am not me. And we aren't we. But the I pervades. But I tell you, though, guidance, listening to the inner voice, I was guided at one point to getting these puppet friends through a mental image that actually Joe directed me toward a particular shopping mall in Florida where I was visiting. And at the shopping mall, this voice directed me right across the mall shopping lot, a parking lot, right into this toy store, down a couple of bends, turn left again, and look down, and there were these two puppets that I didn't even think twice. I just picked them up and said, "This is what I'm here to do." And I marched to the cash register and purchased them, and had fun at the beginning, but didn't think that I could share this fun with others. Because it's a wonderful way to get into yourself. So I've guided some how to bring your hand puppet to life workshops. So that I suggest one explore if there's a way of unlocking your real estates through hand puppetry, especially in the lockdown and isolation period. There was some puppet shows were pretty meaningful on the air.
Wow.
But I surprised myself because I suspect that we're all schizophrenic. And I think that's the only way we could ever get to a place called heaven. That we have to own the schizophrenic, because it's a schizophrenic shift, psychological, from the electromagnetic carbon-based body life form mentality to the magnetic etheric crystalline body mind. And that's a real shift.
True. Amazing. Well, look, it's been a real pleasure. It's been a cosmic experience. And I think your puppet was correct. That we came here, but we're not leaving. It'll be a new person. It'll be a new us leaving.
Yeah.
And it's been a real cosmic pleasure having you here, LARAAJI, at AfroRoots Tuesdays. We look forward to bringing you back in the near future, in the very near future. And we look forward to hearing more about your upcoming events, where you'll be sharing your meditations, where you'll be sharing music, where you'll be sharing your ruminations, all of these things. We're looking forward to that. And also, everybody follow that LARAAJI blogspot.com. Follow that, please. Make sure you check out his list his information, where you can get the recordings, his events, when they're coming up, where they'll be. Check that out. Also, follow through on the PayPal and send a donation because it's always really important to support artists, especially in this time period, as I mentioned before, during the lockdown, because that's what the lockdown has most affected, artists. Well, it's affected everybody who's working, but it's really going at artists because artists are the avenues through which they would connect with their communities have been temporarily shut down. So if we want to see, as I said before, art thriving, and we don't want to see it thriving, we want to see it thriving to a higher degree. We want to see it bouncing off the walls and jumping off the ceilings. We want to see that as we come to the other side of this rainbow. So we want to envision that, but we want to be supporting the artists as much as possible through this time period and looking forward to an expansion, even greater art happening, more activity. We want to see people really communicating, really in touch, not isolating. We want to see people coming together. And art is for that purpose. So please, support the artists, support the arts. The arts are absolutely essential. I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. Arts are the essential thing. And the lockdown has literally chosen another path on that. But I would say over and over again that the most essential thing is arts. So thank you for supporting this. Thank you for supporting LARAAJI. Thank you for supporting AfroRoots Tuesdays. We'll be back with you in 2 weeks. Please follow AfroRoots Tuesdays on Facebook. If you're not on the mailing list, send an email to me, kevinandbeer@hotmail.com. I will make sure you're on the mailing list. I want to thank Susan Macaluso, the director of God of Riverside. I want to thank the whole staff and community at God of Riverside. I want to thank Amanda Hopper, who's been with us here, making sure that it's flowing all night long. I want to thank Gregory Cage, and I want to thank all of you, each and every one of you, for coming out tonight. And we'll see you again. Have a wonderful night wherever you are. Wishing you great health, great strong immunity, great abundance and prosperity. Wish you all these things and laughter. So, and we'll see you again. LARAAJI, is there anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Hello forever.
Amanda, are you there?
I am.
Take it away, baby.
All right, everyone have a lovely evening. Thank you for joining us, and hello forever. Good night, everyone.
Thank you all so much.
Hi,
Thank you, LARAAJI. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hi, friends. Familiar faces.
Yeah. Wow, it's great to see you all. Hi, Ann.
Hey, love.
Hi, Michiko.
Bye.
Hi, Lance.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Hey, LARAAJI.
Hey.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. See you in 2 weeks.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Yes.
Peace, everyone.
All
Peace
right.
and love.
Stay blessed, everybody.